Most NBA champions throughout the history of the association often remains heavy contenders after winning the title. Throughout the century, there's been 4 different repeats, while the last 3 NBA champions who didn't repeat had very strong seasons the year after. The most recent champion, Toronto Raptors, remains 46-18 before the shutdown. On verge for another 58-win season, it's more than likely Toronto would have at least made the semis if the 2020 playoffs were to happen. Golden State was the heavy favorite again in 2019, won 57 games, would have won the title with a healthy Kevin Durant, while LeBron continued to make the finals 2 more times with Cleveland after winning the title in 2016. Today, let's take a look at 8 of the very worst defending champions all time. Number 8, the 1977 Boston Celtics, a record 44-38, the 4th seed, a 10-game drop-off from the previous year. After winning 2 titles in 3 seasons, the season's 3 best players were aging. Superstar John Havlicek, already 36, won 8 titles. JoJo White, 31, traded Paul Silas to Detroit for Curtis Rowe. The team needed youth and athleticism, traded a first-rounder for Sidney Wicks. 35-year-old Don Nelson retired after 76. Although center Dave Cowens was still 28, he averaged 40.5 minutes his first 6 seasons, played relentless every game, was limited to 50 games due to injury. Wicks and Rowe had trouble fitting into Tommy Heinsohn's system, heavily underachieved. Wicks, a former 4-time All-Star, averaged just 15-10, a big drop-off from 22.5 points, 10 rebounds his first 5 seasons. While Rowe came off making the All-Star team with Detroit in 76, was a 16-9 guy before dropping to averaging 10-7. Longtime Celtic fans absolutely despise these two. Both UCLA legends, 3 national titles under John Wooden. Former Celtic owner, alongside legendary Red Auerbach, praised the two to high heavens. Thinking Wicks and Rowe would help Boston contend for many years, the team lacked depth. Wicks was traded August of 78. Rowe was waived when Larry Bird took over. The team did win their first-round series, only to be eliminated by Dr. J Sixers in 7 games. The Big Three still played their hearts out, but Wicks and Rowe were role players at that point. Havlicek retired the end of the following year. Boston had 2 miserable seasons before the Great White Hope came to the rescue. Number 7, the 2010-2011 Los Angeles Lakers. The back-to-back defending champs were a lot slower and older. Phil Jackson's final season forever. After three-peating 3 different times, looking for number 4, still went 57-25 in the regular season. The team added veterans Matt Barnes and Steve Blake. The 2010 team was already getting a little old. Kobe was 32, despite playing all 82 games, wasn't 100% healthy. Artest 31, Fisher 36, a fossil on defense. Bynum missed 28 games after struggling to get past the 7-seeded Hornets. Every ESPN expert picked the Lakers to win the series against the Mavs, not giving Dallas any chance, thinking they would cruise by. An extremely hungry veteran team, the Mavs made a lot of adjustments, while the Lakers had the same starters from last season. Rick Carlisle simply knew LA's game plan. Combined with the weak bench, Dallas shot over 46% from 3 in the series. Nowitzki absolutely demolished Gasol. Jason Terry went off. Even JJ Barea was destroying the Laker defense. LA was simply fatigued, coming off 3 straight finals, played very traditional, while Dallas utilized perimeter shooting. Kobe also rolled his left ankle in Game 4 of the New Orleans series. Wasn't practicing with the team much the whole season because of knee problems. His teammates surely missed his intensity for the practice sessions, resulting in their lack of play. The end of the Phil Jackson coaching era, followed by the failed Chris Paul trade. Odom left, Laker management became a mess. Number 6, the 1995-96 Houston Rockets. The back-to-back defending champs, led by superstar center Hakeem Olajuwon, came off having 2 of the most impressive playoff runs of the 90s by somebody not named Michael Jordan. Dream was up there with age, 33 years old, Drexler 33 as well, Kenny Smith 30. Fatigue was certainly a factor. When Mario Elie only played 45 games after going down January 18th, they were the 3 seed, followed by Drexler's injuries, missed 30 total games. Hakeem also missed 10 games with sore knees. The team wasn't expected to have a good regular season record, won just 48 games, one above the previous year. In a 4-5 matchup, the Lakers had home court in the first round, where 36-year-old Magic Johnson came out of retirement after almost 5 years since his HIV announcement. Hakeem still dominated, averaged almost 27-8, winning 3 games to 1, ending Johnson's career. The Rockets got smoked by the 64-win Sonics, Sonics, after losing 108-75 the first game, got swept. Dream and the whole team struggled that series. Peyton and Ken put on a clinic. The Defensive Player of the Year made it tough for Kenny Smith to throw the ball to Hakeem down low. Dream would almost immediately get double teamed every time he caught it, while Ellie, Smith, and Gasol were horrendous, all shot under 38% for the series. The 90s Rockets had trouble against these same Sonics the previous years, losing in the 93 playoffs because Seattle got upset in the first round in both the 94 and 95 postseason. Houston didn't have to match up against them in Dream's best seasons. The Sonics simply gave him the most trouble, capped off the sweep by going 12-0 against the Rockets in the 2-year stretch plus regular season. Hakeem's real kryptonite of the 90s. Houston acquired Charles Barkley after the season, but a little too late since the stars continued to age. Number 5, the 1983-84 Philadelphia 76ers. After having one of the greatest seasons in NBA history, 65 wins led by MVP Moses Malone, going 12-2 in the postseason, the defending champs were a little older, with Dr. J 33, coming off 3 finals in 4 years, Bobby Jones 32. Philly started 21-5, but ended the season winning just 23 of their last 42 games, 50 and 32 overall. In the new playoff expansion format, 8 total teams from each conference made the postseason. The heavy favorite Sixers faced off the 6-seeded New Jersey Nets, a franchise that was previously 0-6 in postseason play. Philly's championship hungover was real after the dominance of Michael Ray Richardson, Buck Williams, Albert King, and Otis Birdsong shocked the Sixers, stealing both games 1 and 2 on the road. Needed one more win to advance, scored 116 points each of the first 2 games, won by a combined 29-point margin. Williams 25 and 16 in game 1. Ray Richardson 32 points, 9 dimes game 2. Philly came storming back, led by Dr. J's 27-point game 3. The Nets missed 15 free throws in game 4, tying the series. While Moses' knees weren't 100%, in the pivotal Game 5, the Sixers led by 7 with 7 minutes to play, but Ray Richardson wouldn't let his team lose, combined with some careless Sixers turnovers. Late game execution haunted them. New Jersey survived a 101-98 win, the only series in NBA history where the road team won every game. Still one of the biggest first round upsets ever, the Nets didn't advance back to the semis until the Jason Kidd era. Number 4, the 2011-2012 Dallas Mavericks. After doing the improbable, many knew the Mavs were on their last real run during the 2011 playoffs. If they weren't going to win the title, it was never going to happen. After upsetting Miami, the team lost center Tyson Chandler to free agency. Dirk turned 33 after winning his first title. Jason Terry already 34, Sean Marion 33, J. Kidd 38. With the addition of 35-year-old Vince Carter averaging 10 points at the time, nobody would have been surprised if he was going to retire at that time. The team also signed unmotivated Lamar Odom, cut during the season. In the shortened lockout year, Dirk declined, averaged just 21.6 points, under 46% shooting. Nobody besides him and Terry averaged over 15. JJ Barea left for Minnesota. Dallas started the season 0-3 before finishing 36-30, equivalent to 45 wins in an 82-game season. The 7th seed faced the younger, more athletic OKC Thunder, whom they beat in the conference finals the season before, but OKC finished 11 games above Dallas. 23-year-old Durant, too good, ended game 1 with the go-ahead game-winning jumper. Although Dirk played well that series, Dallas didn't have enough depth. James Harden also did plenty of damage off the bench. Dallas had 2 chances to tie game 2, but the Jet came up short. After OKC took a 2-0 lead, blew out Dallas game 3. Nobody outside of Nowitzki scored the final 5 minutes of game 4. James Harden, a 29-point masterpiece off the bench, a sweep nobody expected. Although Dallas weren't the favorites to win that series, many thought it could go 6 or 7. Terry became a free agent, signed with Boston. Number 3, the 2006-2007 Miami Heat. After an amazing comeback, knocking off Dallas and winning the franchise's first title in 2006, the team got a lot older. Outside of D-Wade and Udonis Haslem, O'Neal was 35, Peyton 38, Mourning 36, James Posey and Antoine Walker both 30, Jason Williams 31. After a pathetic 42-point beatdown in the hands of the Chicago Bulls on opening night, the team started the season 13-19. D-Wade and Shaq both had big injuries, Wade with the shoulders. The first season, Shaq wasn't a 20-point scorer, averaged just over 17-7, no longer the best center in the league. The two missed the combined 73 games, struggled to get to the 4th seed only since they won their division. After beating the Young Bulls the previous year, the combo of Luol Deng and Ben Gordon torched Miami in the playoffs, a 4-game sweep. Both averaged around 26 points. Wade had his troubles, Miami rusty and old. The Bulls were the fresher team in the 4th quarter. The older guys simply weren't in great shape. The team fell apart, leaving leaving way little to no help before summer 2010. Number 2, the 1969-70 Boston Celtics. After winning 11 titles in 13 years, the great Bill Russell retired after the 69 season. The team's leader, alongside Sam Jones, the franchise had to rebuild, having their first losing season since 1950. Under new head coach Tom Heinsohn, the team went 34-48 overall, second worst in the East. Still had John Havlicek, who averaged 24, 8, and 7, a solid Don Nelson, drafted a young JoJo White. The team did have a good center before the following year after acquiring Dave Cowens. In reality, Boston had no business winning the title in 69, old and past their primes. Russell's leadership proved otherwise. The team was in search for new leadership. Even as great as John Havlicek was, the franchise missed the playoffs twice until the younger guys got better. Number 1, the worst of the worst, the 1999 Chicago Bulls. As we seen from the Last Dance episodes, the players Phil Jackson despised GM Jerry Krause. Lowballing Phil, being jealous of Michael Jordan's greatness, Krause believing organizations win championships. The Bulls franchise have gone to shit after the departure of Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, and Phil Jackson. It's an absolute travesty. The Bulls never had the chance to defend their crown because management wanted to break the team up when they were still on top of the NBA. Jordan was still the best player in the league. Owner Jerry Reinsdorf deserves just as much blame as Krause. MJ indicated all season he wasn't going to come back unless Phil was back. Krause told Jackson, "You can go 82 and effing 0 and you're not coming back." Jordan retired, Pippen was sent to Houston, Rodman gone, Steve Kerr to San Antonio, Luke Longley to Phoenix. The team was left with Kukoc, who was the best player, averaged 18.8 points on 17 shot attempts, added Brent Barry, 35-year-old Ron Harper, still the point guard, 13-37 overall, the worst record in the East, equivalent to 21 wins in an 82-game season. Bad enough to land the first overall pick, selecting Elton Brand out of Duke. The franchise hasn't made it back to the finals since. Honorable mentions includes the 2000 San Antonio Spurs, 53 wins, but Tim Duncan tore his meniscus late in the regular season. Without him, lost to Phoenix in the first round. Unfair to count that against them. Not to mention the league from the beginning of time. After the 1948 Baltimore Bullets won, they finished 29-31 the year after, lost in the divisional semis. The Syracuse Nationals, 2 games below 556, and Philadelphia Warriors, 2 games above 500, still made the playoffs for some historical knowledge. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.